All praise to the Most High, Ahaya, and to his son, Yahayasha. Alleluia. This is Brother Holly here with the first Spirit of Truth broadcast here on the AHAYAH'S channel, as well as the House of Ahaya channel on this set-apart Sabbath day. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to the great I am, he who is, was, and is to come, the Almighty One, Halal, Hayah, and to his son, Yahayasha, who gave himself for us that we may have life, and that life is in him, Allah Hayah. Now, in this first broadcast, we're going to start a new series here on the AHAYAH'S channel and the House of Ahaya channel on strong delusion. About an hour and a half ago or 2 hours ago, the Spirit of Ahaya arrested me. I was preparing another topic for today's teachings, but the Spirit of Ahaya arrested me and said, nope, I want you to talk about this. I want you to talk about the strong delusion that has gripped so many people around the world. And so many people who say they believe in me are under a strong delusion. They have created a deity of their own making, in their own mind, that is not the one revealed to my people through my word. Wow. And when I started digging in just a little bit, I saw clearly what the Spirit of Ahaya was trying to convey. And I hope that with the Spirit of Ahaya's help and with his kind permission, I'll be able to share with you what I've we know these things. And these things are evident to those of us who are of the truth. But when we talk to our friends, neighbors, brothers, sisters, cousins, grandmas, grandpas, or complete strangers about these things found in our words and in the book that's filled with the words about our covenant and our salvation, I should say. When we read these things into their hearing, they say to us a lot. You're taking that out of context. See, they have this belief about the Most High. They have a belief about his son. But their belief is not found in the volume of the book. It's not found in the Holy Scriptures. It's not found in the revealed truth. It's found in the dark recesses of their delusional mind. And I say delusional because that's what the Scriptures say. And we'll read that from 2 Thessalonians in a moment, from the Apostle Saul, in whom we all trust. Now, you may notice that I just called the Apostle Saul, Saul. And I didn't call him Paul. And the reason I called the Apostle Saul, Saul, is because that's what Yahayasha called him on the road to Damascus. He said, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And that's what the Spirit of Ahaya called him when he separated Barnabas and Saul to the work that he called them to do. He didn't say, I'm separating Barnabas and Paul. He said, I'm separating Barnabas and Saul. So there's no scripture in the book of Acts or anywhere else in the New Testament where it says that the Most High changed Saul of Tarsus' name to Paul. That is just some strong delusion that Constantine Christians made up to try to, for lack of a better term, Europeanize the Apostle Saul and Europeanize the faith. It is the faith of the Hebraic people, bar none. And the Apostle Saul, whom we all trust, said he was a Hebrew of Hebrews. But they trying to Greek him up. They trying to make him Latin, make him Roman, make him anything but a Hebrew. But he said of himself, I'm a Hebrew of Hebrews. Allah Hayah. We'll be reading primarily from the Learned Paleo Hebrew Torah, Lashwan Kodash, Holy Tongue, Yeshaya, Ahaya, Bible Scriptures, and just briefly from the Ahaya, Yeshaya, King James Version, Bible Apocrypha, Enoch, Jashin, Jubilees, KJV. And if you don't have this resource, I suggest you get it. That's about, last I saw, about $80. But it's a very clean read. It's removed most if not all the pagan terms from it, and it prominently displays the name that Most High gave Moses from the burning bush for his people, gave his name to us from the burning bush to Moses for us to call him by. So what shall the children of Yasharallah call you? He said, AHAYAH, or I am that I am. Tell them I am, or AHAYAH has sent me unto you. All praises. Turn me to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. And when I read this, you're going to, I'll give you a little insight into current events, how this is talking about what's going on right now. And just a moment, I'll give you that insight for how it wills it. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7, it says, For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the master shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. Will you highlight? It's speaking of that wicked being revealed. Now, for the longest time, we've all concluded that that is the Antichrist. I'll just call it what the scriptures call him, that wicked one. They're one and the same theologically, but I'll just call him what the scriptures call him, that wicked one. And that wicked one has been revealed. In the land of Canaan right now, the interlopers and the fakers, they're saying their Messiah has come. And he's working miracles. And we're going to see that when the wicked one is revealed, he'll be doing miracles. Let's read. Next verse. I read verse 8 again. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the master shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Will you highlight? He's going to come on the scene, that wicked one will come on the scene working miracles. Much like the authentic Messiah did. And he's going to continue in his ministry until the authentic Messiah come back and destroy him. We just read that. Well, how long, Brother Holly, is the wicked one going to be performing miracles and deceiving people? Until the coming of Messiah. Then he'll destroy him with the brightness of his coming. He'll destroy him with the spirit that comes out of his mouth. All praises. I'll read verse 9 again, 2 Thessalonians 2:9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. We highlight. See, he's only gonna be able to deceive the ones who won't receive the love of the truth. And we know from the scriptures, both Old and New Testament, that the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, judgments, ordinances, precepts, words about his way, word, and will, and obeying his voice is the truth. That's the truth. They don't receive a love of that. They want to hang on to their false doctrines, their dogma. You start telling them about keeping the Most High's way, they subscribe you off as a false prophet. But what does it say here? That these people that are going to be following the wicked one, let's read it again. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, 2 Thessalonians 2:10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, AHAYAH shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. Will you highlight? Every person that you talk to, that says to you, when you read the scriptures verbatim, you are taking that out of context. That's why. See, they've been given over to strong delusion. They're believing a lie. Why are you so confident saying that, Brother Holly? Because the word is truth. You just read the word verbatim. They're like, no, that can't be right. You read the word verbatim, who the New Covenant's for. Nah, that can't be right. It's for everybody. You read the word verbatim, that Most High don't love everybody. Ah, that can't be right. You read the word verbatim, who the world is. From Isaiah 45:17. The world is being saved. The world is receiving eternal life. When it says Yasharallah shall be saved with an everlasting salvation. They say, that can't be right. It's talking about everybody. Then when it says that Yasharallah is the world without end, that can't be right. You just read it verbatim. You can have them read it verbatim. It can't be right. Strong delusion. They believe a lie. And the Most High led me to the top 4 strong delusions. These are the top 4 strong delusions that the Most High led me to, that the Constantine Christians, or just people in general, believe. But the Constantine Christians really are strung out on these delusions. The number 1 strong delusion that the Constantine Christians believe is the Most High loves everybody. That's number 1. That's the first one we're going to deconstruct today. If AHAYAH wills it to be so, in the next few moments. We're going to destruct the strong delusion that the Most High loves everybody. We're going to read from the scriptures that he doesn't love everybody. Number 2, that Yahweh came to save everybody. We're going to read, if AHAYAH wills to be so, in the coming weeks, that Yahweh did not come to save everybody. We just had a teaching a few weeks ago here on these channels on that very subject. Who did he die for? The Apostle Saul, whom we all trust in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, said he died for our sins according to the scriptures. See, that according to the scriptures really shuts down this universal, he died for everybody. Because you can't find a scripture that say that. But you can go to Jeremiah chapter 50 and see where you're going to seek for the sin of the house of Judah, won't be able to find it. You're going to look for iniquity in the house of Yashrael, and it won't be there. You can go to Isaiah chapter 59 and see that he has a covenant with the children of Jacob to take away their sins. That same covenant is repeated in Romans chapter 11. You can't make this stuff up. According to the scriptures. According to the truth. Not according to the strong delusion that he died for everybody, but according to the truth. We'll dig into it deeply. That was just a brief overview of some of the scriptures that speaks against the strong delusion that Yahweh died for everybody. Came to save everybody. 3rd strong delusion. The new covenant is applicable to everyone. Just a cursory reading of the new covenant found in Jeremiah 31 and Hebrews 8 will let you know that that's not so. But what will happen when you read it to them? Verbatim. What will happen? They will look you in the eye and say, you're taking that out of context. I don't believe that. They believe a lie. We just read it. They have strong delusion. They'll believe a lie. AHAYAH sent this strong delusion to them. Why? Because they would not receive the love of the truth that they might be saved. When you brought the truth to them from the scriptures, they rejected it. And AHAYAH gave them something in replace for the truth. A strong delusion that's a lie. The last strong delusion. The Most High hates sin and loves the sinner. You can go to the Apocrypha and see where it says that the Most High hates sin and the sinner alike. Both are hateful in His sight. Wow. Wow, that's clear. But they'll say, oh no, you taking out context. Why would they say that, children of the Most High? Because they've been given over the strong delusion that they believe a lie. That's why they say it. It's the only reason they say it. Because they've been given over. That's a signal that the person you're talking to has been given over to strong delusion. AHAYAH gave them over to it. Let's read it again. 2 Thessalonians 2:11. And for this cause, AHAYAH shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. To what end? To what purpose? What's the purpose of this strong delusion? What's the purpose of them being locked in to believe a lie? That they might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. Will you highlight? There's no redemption for them. It says right here, no redemption for them. See, some of you right now, what? What? What does it have to be? Strong delusion. It said right here that they might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. They would send strong delusion to believe a lie that they might be damned. It says right here. But you then, I'm taking that out of context. Why? Because you've been given over to strong delusion. You're on the broad path that leads to destruction, child. If you believe that you can come back from the strong delusion, once given over, you reject truth, and Most High give you to believe a lie. You start believing in some of these strong delusions I listed. There are more. These are just top 4 the Most High Spirit gave me. But there are more. Placement theology, spiritual, ISRAL, all of it, strong delusion. Just all lies, just made up stuff. Those people are delusional. Okay? They're delusional. How did they become delusional, Brother Holly? They did not receive the love of the truth that they might be saved. They rejected the truth. Hold your place. 2 Thessalonians. Let's read it. Let's read it. Some of you still swerving off the road in your mind that I'm just making this up, even though I'm reading verbatim. Turn with me to Hosea chapter 4. Let's start reading verse 1. Hosea chapter 4, verse 1. It says, hear the word of AHAYAH, ye children of Yasharallah. For AHAYAH have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of AHAYAH in the land. By swearing and lying, and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood. Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven. Yea, the fishes of the sea shall be taken away. Yet let no man strive nor reprove another, for thy people are as they that strive with the priests. What does it mean to strive with the priest? The priest's work, the priest's mouth is supposed to hold knowledge. The priest is supposed to be speaking to you the word of AHAYAH, according to Malachi. He's supposed to be giving you the sense, according to Ezra. The priest is supposed to be breaking the word down for you. But you strive with him, no. No, you taking out context. You ain't reading that right. I'm reading verbatim. You can read it yourself. Hosea 4:4. Yet let no man strive nor reprove another, for thy people are as they that strive with the priests. Therefore shalt thou fall in the day, And the prophet also shall fall with thee in the night, and I will destroy thy mother. Will you highlight? Wow, judgment coming. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. You see, it's the same thought being communicated over here by the Apostle Saul, in whom we all trust in 2 Thessalonians. Because you rejected knowledge, Most High rejecting you. Because you didn't receive a love of the truth, you might be saved. You've been given strong delusion and a lie in its place. Let's read some more. I'll read that again. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, a very popular verse. But they only read a little bit of the first part of it. And like, that's it, period. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I shall also reject thee, that thou should be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the Torah law of thy AHAYAH, I will forget thy children. When you highlight. Remember I told you a little bit ago that the Torah law, that the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, judgments, ordinances, precepts, the words concerning walking his way, word and will, and obeying his voice, is the truth. But it says here, when you reject Torah, you forget Torah, he gonna forget your kids. Oh, it gets worse. Verse 7, as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, I will change their glory unto shame. They eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity. And there shall be like people, like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them for their doings. For they shall eat and not have enough, and they shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to AHAYAH. Whoredom and wine, new wine, take away the heart. My people ask counsel of their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them. For the spirit of whoredoms hath caused them to err, and they have gone a horn from under their AHAYAH. They sacrifice on the tops of the mountains and burn incense upon the hills under oaks and pollars and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughter shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery. Wow, judgment. Go and worship in the groves if you want to. Go and worship on to church on the hill, a church of the groves. Go on to your tithe taking porch being son, go to meeting place where they worship idols. Go on. Your daughter gonna be a whore and your wife gonna commit adultery. And what's your judgment? You can be given strong delusion because you believe a lie. You will believe a lie. You'll be damned who don't receive. I'll reverse. Let's go back to 2 Thessalonians 2:12. 2 Thessalonians 2:11 and 12. And for this cause, AHAYAH shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. All right, number one on the list of strong delusion, the Most High. I love everybody. Let's see. Start with Romans chapter 9. Romans chapter 9. Let's see what the Apostle Saul, whom we all trust, said under the inspiration of the Spirit. Let's start reading at verse 9. For this is the word of promise. This is Romans chapter 9, verse 9. And this is the word of promise. At this time I will come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. Verse 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of AHAYAH according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that called. Will you highlight? As it is said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated. Now I talked about Esau and Jacob being in the womb, not dead. The children not even being born. These were the children Rebekah had. These were Isaac's twin boys from his wife Rebekah. And it is said of her, of those two children, that AHAYAH was up to something in that womb, wasn't he? He said that the purpose of AHAYAH might be not of works, but of him that called. That the election was being activated in that womb. One of them would be elected, the other one would be rejected. One would be loved, the other one hated. Not based on what they've done. For all you who say the Most High hated Esau because Esau was raunchy. Yes, in fact, Esau was raunchy. We're going to read that from Jubilees in a moment. Yes, Esau was raunchy. But that's not why the Most High hated him. He hated him because he chose to hate him. It was the election and the rejection. I'll read it again. Romans chapter 9, verse 11. For the children being not yet born, speaking of Esau and Jacob, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of AHAYAH according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calls. And she said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. Next verse. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with AHAYAH? AHAYAH forbid. We highlight. Oh, he hates somebody? That's unrighteous to hate. It's unrighteous to hate. How can the Most High hate somebody? We just read he hates somebody. And we're going to read where it's written that he hates somebody. Who he hate and why. We already know why. It ain't based on works. Now is it? They had did no good nor evil. See, you can't work your way into this. You got to be born into this. To be part of the elect, you got to be born into it. To be part of the congregation of AHAYAH, you got to be born into it. I can't make this any clearer than it is. You can't work your way in. You can't believe your way in. You can't sacrifice your way in. The only way in is through being elected in. That's AHAYAH'S doing. It's marvelous in my eyes. Let's read that again. Because we clearing up what are we addressing? Strong delusion. He loved everybody. And we also hitting another strong delusion. That if he judges you, it's based on what you've done. Now in this case, it's making sure you understand that they had done nothing when one was rejected, the other one was elected. They had done nothing, good or evil. They hadn't even begun life outside of the womb. They were just in the womb chilling, waiting to be born. But in the womb, while they were still chilling, having done neither good nor evil, Most High said, I'm going to love this one and I'm going to hate that one. And ain't no unrighteousness with him doing that. He can choose the whom he loves. He can choose whom he hate. He can choose whom he hard. He can choose whom he have mercy on. He can choose whomever. It's his choice. It's his salvation. It's his damnation. He can choose any way he wants. Base it on anything he wants. Got nothing to do with you or me either. Oh, praises. You got to be born into this. You can't choose this for yourself. You have to be chosen for the foundation of the world. Oh, praises. All right, let's see. It says, as it is written. Let's see as it is written. Turn over to Malachi. Malachi chapter 1. Start reading at verse 1. It says, the burden of the word of AHAYAH to Yasharallah by Malachi. Once again. Who is this to? The children of Jacob. Nobody else. He's saying that's another strong delusion. Another lie. That the Bible's for everybody. It's not. But I digress. Malachi chapter 1 verse 1 again. The burden of the word of AHAYAH to Yasharallah by Malachi. I have loved you, saith AHAYAH. Yet ye say, wherein have thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith AHAYAH. Yet I loved Jacob, verse 3, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, the children of Esau said, we are impoverished. I always read it this way. We are impoverished. But we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith AHAYAH'S. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Ahijah hath indignation forever. Will you highlight? What did they do? What did Esau's children do? What did Esau do not to be hated? Nothing. What did his children do to be hated? Nothing. But they can be called the border of wickedness and the people whom the Most High has indignation toward forever. I'll read it again. Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith AHAYAH'S. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Ahijah hath indignation forever. Highlight. Now, what is the answer for the you're taking that out of context statement? The answer is simple. You've been given over to strong delusion that you believe a lie. You wouldn't receive the love of the truth when it was presented to you. Now Ahijah is giving you over to strong delusion. You believe the lie that he loved everybody, even though we can read, he don't. And you're going to be damned because you won't receive the love of the truth. But you have pleasure in unrighteousness. So you'll justify the wicked. You'll make him save people he said he hate. Now, some of you out there saying, well, brother, who are the Edomites? Who are these Esau's people? I don't know. You got 1,000 people tell you 1,000 different things. I don't know who they are. But whoever they are, they're the people that Most High has indignation toward forever. They ain't going to be saved. Let's read that from Jubilees. Jubilees chapter 35. I believe it's verses 13 and 14. Jubilees 35. You need you'll need an apocryphal book that contains Jubilees. The Sefer contains it. But we'll read from here because it's a clean read. Jubilees 35, verse 13. And Isaac said unto her, speaking to Rebekah, I too know and see the deeds of Jacob, who is with us, how that with all his heart he honors us. But I loved Esau formerly more than Jacob, because he was the firstborn. But now I love Jacob more than Esau, for he has done manifold evil deeds. Speaking of Esau, and there is no righteousness in him, for all his ways are unrighteousness and violence, and there is no unrighteousness around him. And now my heart is troubled because of all his deeds, and neither he nor his seed is to be saved. Will you highlight? For they are those who will be destroyed from the earth, and who will be rooted out from under heaven. For he has forsaken the power of Abraham, and gone after his wives, and after their uncleanness, and after their error, he and his children. Now we got the answer what his kids did. They were following after the heathenistic practices of Esau's wives. But it says clearly in Jubilees, they're not to be saved. None of them. Wow. So there we have it. Will you believe the scriptures? Or will you believe that strong delusion that you've been given, that's been given to you by Ahijah? The truth has been presented to you today. The Most High doesn't love everybody. He hates Esau and his seed. All Edomites on the Most High's hate list. So, if you had the strong delusion that the Most High loves everybody, you've now heard the truth that he doesn't. Are you going to receive a love of the truth, or are you going to stay in your delusion and be damned? All praise to the Most High, Ahijah, and to his son, AHAYAH'S. AHAYAH'S.